Well, alrighty, it's about that time. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. It's digital host A.J. Wuest here, welcoming you back to Before the Four. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. I hope you're all having a great afternoon so far, wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream. As always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your afternoon here. Now first, let's begin in Priceville with a story in case you missed it for your Friday, where its police pursuit policy is changing after a teenager was killed in Hartselle and what was a chase by Priceville police. 48's Nick Ballinger with more details.
The death of a Hartselle teenager hit by a driver fleeing from Priceville police is now sparking change within the department. According to this internal memo obtained by WAFF 48, Priceville Police Chief Jerry Holmes is directing all officers to not leave jurisdiction during a chase if they only have reasonable suspicion of a crime or for a simple traffic violation. Chief Holmes confirmed the change to WAFF and said the reasoning was, quote, to limit the involvement of department personnel in pursuits beyond the Priceville city limits, allowing them only in situations that are essential for safeguarding the lives and safety of individuals affected by a fleeing suspect. Attorney Will League represents 3 of the teens injured in the crash.
It's a step in the right direction, but unfortunately it just was not in place in time to help prevent this tragedy from occurring. The family do not want this to happen to anybody else in the community.
Holmes says the previous directive allowed officers to chase all the way to the county line, which allowed Officer Gary Chapman to pursue DUI suspect Archie Hale before police say he hit and killed 17-year-old Tristan Hollis on September 6th. This change could have a direct effect on Hartselle police if a suspect runs south out of jurisdiction.
Our main goal is to keep people out of the city limits.
Hartselle Police Chief Alan McDearman says his department prefers using spike strips to stop a pursuit rather than chasing. And he says just because a chase leaves Priceville's jurisdiction doesn't mean they'll take over.
We're going to ask the questions of why are they pursuing them? And if it's for some violation or some suspicion, then we're not going to pursue that. The dangers just outweigh the rewards.
Well, we are now 17 days into the federal government shutdown, and furloughed employees in Huntsville are grateful that Huntsville utilities are not charging customers with late fees or shutting off power during this time. 48's Faith Delp spoke with a federal worker and a representative of Huntsville Utilities and has more. Let's take a look.
We are now well over 2 weeks into the government shutdown, and federal employees around Huntsville are starting to cut back heavily on spending.
But until the government opens back up, I probably shouldn't spend this money because I don't know how long it's going to last.
Reese Mikis is an engineer with the Army, and she is thankful her husband is still bringing home a paycheck. However, without her income, their lifestyle is shifting. From holding off on buying new glasses to saving enough money for her daughter's winter school uniform, it's getting stressful. Mikis told me she didn't think a $25 sketchbook for her daughter's art class would make her hesitate when checking out.
Those little things I would never have thought twice. I would have just, you need a pair of pants, let me go do it. You've got to have a sketchbook, let's do this. I plan to buy new glasses this year, so let me go and spend that $500. But now let's hold off.
Mikis says Huntsville Utilities extending their no late fee policy is a stress relief. She hopes other companies follow suit. Huntsville Utilities Community Relations Manager Gary Whitley still urges customers to continue to pay their bills if they can and not let them build up. But until further notice, utility officials want to help those in our community who are struggling.
The greater Huntsville community and our customers are very entrenched in the work of the federal government. And so we understand that these times are difficult until this all wraps up.
The president of one of NASA's unions wrote a letter yesterday asking the community to step up and help the furloughed employees. While the Huntsville Utilities announcement isn't related to his letter, he said anything helps the thousands of workers who are struggling right now. Reporting in Huntsville, Faith Delp, 48 News, on your side.
And I see Dio from PC is in the house on Facebook. Donna Oliver from Phil Campbell. Good afternoon to you, Donna. Thank you so much for tuning in to Before the Four today, and I hope you are doing great out there in Phil Campbell. But now let's turn over to Russellville, where Russellville Hospital has turned 50 years old. One of the few rural hospitals left in the state of Alabama. Aria Pons gives us a look.
With 50 years of service, Russellville Hospital is one of a few rural hospitals left in the state. An amazing feat and an invaluable resource, CEO Chris Ware tells me.
If you have to travel 30 minutes to a hospital, it can mean the difference in life and death. You know, heart attack patients or CHF, anything that time matters. That's why rural hospital is very important.
Since 2017, over 60 rural hospitals have closed its doors.
It is a very difficult place, difficult time.
So what is Russellville doing to stay open and keep people flooding in? Hospital leaders say it's about adding services the community will use instead of making cuts.
We don't want to cut services, we don't want to cut programs, but we're trying to say what additional things could we bring that would make some sense, and can we find a way both financially as well as training-wise, bring those services on board.
And the importance of a rural hospital is evident when you're talking about time between life and death.
Got into rural health care for that reason, just a small town, just trying to make sure everybody has the health care that they need.
I grew up in a small town in Tennessee, and a long time my dad was the only surgeon in town. That just stuck with me my whole life, of how important healthcare was and how personal it was in a small town.
After 50 years, they both say you won't find a hospital where the staff cares even half as much as Russellville. Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
And with that, we're going to head to break, but coming up, the Madison Fire Chief's ongoing battle with breast cancer, details on the Liz Hurley ribbon run, and of course, we got to talk a little high school pigskin, now in its 8th week. It's all ahead. We'll go through it all in 1 minute. All right, well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Before the Four. Now, take a look at this. The Madison Fire Department is rallying around its fire chief during her ongoing battle with breast cancer. 48's Liz Hurley shares this story.
Madison Fire Chief Brandy Williams is highly trained to deal with a crisis, which prepared her for her own. This summer, despite mandatory regular checkups, including mammograms, she was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. Nothing positive about that, found during a yearly physical.
I think you go through the stages of grief all in a couple hours. At first it was, not a great prognosis, and then things rapidly changed into a much better prognosis and hopefully better outcome.
Triple-negative breast cancer is normally a very aggressive breast cancer, but after more tests, the results showed Chief Williams' breast cancer was a rare subtype that's not.
Well, there's days that I think that the rare subtype is a blessing, and then there's definitely days where it's a curse.
And it's called?
Adenoid cystic carcinoma.
Only 0.1%, a fraction of triple-negative breast cancer patients are diagnosed with this rare subtype. So Chief Williams' case is an enigma, one that's frustrating and has her drinking medical information from a fire hose.
Yeah, solutions is what we do, finding solutions and fixing the problem. And Some days there's not a lot of solutions in my situation.
Williams says there is no clear-cut direction for treating her cancer. She recently had a double mastectomy as a first step and is back at work deciding on what's next, knowing Madison firefighters are carrying her on their backs.
So this is just our way of supporting her when she's going through a hard time right now.
Wearing authorized work shirts with the chief's badge number, 501.
She's been with us a lot of steps of the way through our career, so this is just our way of supporting her when she's going through a hard time.
This is something I have to deal with. I have no choice but to deal with it, and just focus on the end goal and focus on getting better.
And now the 22nd annual Liz Hurley Ribbon Run will take place tomorrow, beginning with the Survivors Walk at 8 a.m. Now the race begins at the corner of Low Avenue and Adams Street in downtown Huntsville. If you're looking to take a shuttle to the race, there will be free Orbit rides available at Big Spring Park tomorrow morning, one at 7:02 a.m., one at 7:32, and another at 8:02. Drop-off will be at the Publix on Gallatin Street. Now, registration details for tomorrow's Survivors Walk and 5K are on our website right now at WAFF.com. Do it today, do it early, ahead of the run, but it's going to be so exciting. I'm going to be there. I am not in it to win it, but if I can run the entire way, I would be happy. I'm looking to finish somewhere in the 30-40 minute time slot there, so definitely not going to win, but that is why we are wearing pink today. If you notice, everyone at WAFF today is wearing pink. We surprised our anchor, Liz Hurley, earlier today. We grabbed a photo in the studio, but it is an awesome event. It's an awesome time. Make sure you head on out to the Liz Hurley Ribbon Run, now in its 22nd year. You're just not going to want to miss it. But now let's talk about our game of the week this week. The Scottsboro Wildcats taking on the Arab Knights. A good one in Class 5A Region 8. 48's Kaylee Tinglestad lets us know what we can expect. Let's take a look.
The battle for the top spot in Class 5A Region 8 continues. 4 teams within this region with just 1 loss in region action, and on deck is 2 head-to-head battles. Arab, Boaz, Gunnersville, and Scottsboro all knotted up in the region. Scottsboro is currently in first place with 1 more region win than any of the other teams in Class 5A Region 8. The Wildcats are coming off a huge win beating undefeated Gunnersville in Week 7. It was a must-win game after suffering an upset loss to Brewer the previous week. And on the other side, Arab is coming off a bye week. The Knights 1 loss in region play, and that was back in Week 4, just a 4-point loss to Gunnersville. This is now the biggest game so far this season for both teams. If the Wildcats come away with a win, Scottsboro would secure their 2nd straight region title. It would be the first time in 25 years for the Wildcats to win back-to-back region championships. And just as much is on the line for the Knights, Arab would keep hopes of a region title alive with a win on Friday. The other matchup to keep your eye on in the region, Boaz and Gunnersville, the 2 other top teams in Class 5A Region 8. Kaylee Tinglestad, 48 Sports, on your side.
And if you're watching at home right now, who do you have winning this game? Is it Scottsboro? Is it Arab? Let us know. And also, if you're watching and your team isn't one of these 2 teams, leave a comment. Let me know who you root for. Maybe it's your alma mater. Maybe your kids go to school there, play on the football team there. Let us know who is your team here in North Alabama. But we'll have plenty on this week's Game of the Week. We'll have our tailgate tour at 5:35. That is our digital tailgate tour. You can watch it wherever you're watching before the 4 right now. We'll be at Arab High School. Carl Prather will be there. Kaylee Tinglestad will be there. We'll have Peyton Walker and a whole bunch of the 48 crew will be out at Arab High School giving you all the pregame happenings. You're just not going to want to miss it. 5:35 this afternoon. And of course, stay up to date with our scores, let me pull up the website right here. I'll show y'all how you can check the scores here across the Tennessee Valley. So you see on the top right here, there is sports. You'll click on sports and it will take you there, and then you'll just go to sports scores. Under sports, these are all the matchups here across the Tennessee Valley. And we have some really good matchups this week. You're just not going to want to miss it. And of course, we'll be updating these in real time as they come in. So if you're at one game tonight, you can check, like say you're at the Madison Academy St. John Paul game. You can also check the North Jackson Westminster Christian score. You can see what's happening out in New Hope, see what's happening out in Arab, of course, and so on. And of course, as I mentioned, we'll be updating those all in real time. But that's not it. We'll also have our 48 Blitz show tonight in our 10 o'clock newscast for all the highlights and scores across the Tennessee Valley, as well as our 48 Blitz OT show, wherever you're watching Before the Four right now on Facebook, YouTube, the 48 Now live stream, and we'll have even more of those highlights and all the sights and sounds here in high school football week 8. Plenty of football going around this week. We're closing in on the season. I believe 3 more weeks of regular season high school football, and then it's already the playoffs. So hard to believe. It is hard to believe it's even October, honestly. Feels like just yesterday we were getting ready to gear up for week 0 of high school football in early August, and now it's already mid-October, and we're in week 8. But y'all, that's just about it for today's Before the Four. I hope you all have a great night tonight. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast. Enjoy 48 Blitz and our tailgate tour tonight. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.